Thank you. They got two microphones, so I better say something really important. And I don't know whose idea was it to have me follow Gary, but if it's Rick's, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Man, I thought we were friends. Where did he go? He ran out. There he is. So, anyway, it's been referred to as the secret to life, as the key that opens all doors, the greatest of the virtues, and that's gratitude. There's been some awesome things said about gratitude over the last couple thousand years. And it's amazing that scientific research is actually now ratifying what's been said by great philosophers and writers, devotional writers, religious leaders for thousands of years. And that's what I do. I study the science of gratitude, how it relates to happiness, human health, well-being, productivity, fulfillment in life, all the things that we want out of life. But we've only started to really investigate scientifically in the science of what's now referred to as positive psychology, happiness, well-being. And what we've learned about gratitude is that it has the ability to heal, to energize, and to transform lives. Now, my area of training originally was personality psychology. And in personality psychology, we learned two things. Number one, we learned that people are made up of different personality traits. So some of us are extroverts, some are introverts, right? You could guess what Gary is, for example, all right? Some of us tend to be very pessimistic. We expect the worst out of life. Others are optimistic. There are some basic personality differences. Second thing we've learned is that these differences don't change very much or very quickly. People are pretty continuous over time. An extrovert who's outgoing, sociable when they're 8 years old, they're like that when they're 18, 28, 48, 78. Obviously it changes how they express that extroversion, but it doesn't, the level of the trait itself doesn't alter very much. Okay, so people are continuous, they don't change, we have personality traits. What makes gratitude so interesting and fascinating from my point of view is that it's something that literally can change people and can change their lives. People report when they begin to practice grateful thinking, and when they begin to look at life through a grateful, appreciative lens, that changes their lives, it changes their relationships, it changes their moods. We find in our research that people can change their level of happiness by as much as 25%. People begin to exercise, they eat better, they reduce their blood pressure. Gratitude adds years of life at the end of a person's life. There's measurable, quantifiable differences between people who either vary in gratitude or start to practice a grateful way of living. So that's what I've been examining in some of my research studies. And I don't have time to go into some of the details, but just briefly, let me just read you some of the findings. So grateful people have higher, this is where it connects to passion, in fact, because I believe that gratitude fuels passion. Without gratitude, you don't have passion. Because gratitude is a fundamental way of looking at life. It's a life orientation. And what we find is that, who needs notes? What we find is that when people practice gratitude, their levels of positive feelings go up. Their level of energy goes up. They become more alive, more alert, more vital, have more vitality, have more energy, more attentive. Their enthusiasm goes up. Their passion goes up. As much as 20 to 25% increase. And again, that's an amazing statistic because people don't change very quickly or very often or very easily. So people can consciously, intentionally cultivate greater levels of passion, enthusiasm, excitement through the simple practice of keeping a gratitude journal. It's one technique that we've used in our research. We ask people to keep gratitude journals. Go home tonight, write down 5 things that happened today that you're grateful for. 3 things that went well today. Okay? 5 terrible things that didn't happen today, right? However you want to do it, doesn't matter how you do it. The point is you consciously and intentionally try to cultivate a grateful outlook on life. Within a week, you'll change. People will notice that you've changed. Your spouse will notice. Your coworkers will notice that you've changed as well. You'll notice it, and you'll keep wanting to do this because the effects are self-sustaining, all right? What we find is that gratitude, when it's practiced, has individual benefits, okay? But all of these apply to organizational life as well. So when people become more energetic, more enthusiastic, their coworkers notice it, their absorption in their activities goes up, they become more engaged, in their jobs. We find with students, when we study gratitude in schools with middle schoolers, 5th and 6th and 7th graders, they get more out of school. They like their school better, they like their teacher better, they like their home better. The grade point average goes up as well. Right? When people practice gratitude, we see some of the same benefits when they practice happiness. Their relationships are better, their health improves, they exercise more, they have fewer illnesses, they recover more quickly from illness. It doesn't mean it solves all the problems. This is not just some sort of happyology, positive thinking. I'm not going to look on the dark side of life, right? But it puts life in perspective. So what we find is when people practice gratitude, people who live under an aura of pervasive thankfulness, they reap the rewards of grateful living. And those who fail to do so, they cheat themselves out of their experience of life. And so I think it comes down to a choice. I have some writings where I discuss practices for gratitude, and there's a bunch of them. I have a new book coming out next week called Gratitude Works, 21-day program for developing emotional prosperity, and where I develop 7 different practices for creating and sustaining gratitude over the long haul. So there's a few flyers on the back table about that. I'm happy to come back. I think we're going to work something out where I'm going to come back and do a half hour about the science and practice of gratitude, how you can apply it to your own lives and see some of these benefits. Gratitude, I think, is the best approach to life. When life is going well, it enables us to celebrate life, to celebrate successes, to magnify the good things. When life is going poorly, it gives us a perspective by which we can compartmentalize that and say, you know, yes, this is bad, but I still have many good things in my life to look forward to. So it kind of brackets it off such that we look at life in a more complete way. And that's what gratitude is. That's why gratitude has the power to heal, energize, and change lives. And I think gratitude is really at the core of passion and makes passion possible. So thank you very much, Rick, for the invitation. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to coming back in a few weeks.